Hello chums, and welcome to the 29th Colonel Marvel's Miniatures Review vidcast, wherein I pontificate on all that's new and interesting in the world of sci-fi and fantasy 28 to 32mm miniatures. Okay, let's get started. I'm very pleased to say the show continues to be sponsored by Rattlehead Games, fine purveyors of many of the independent sci-fi and fantasy figures featured in the show. So we start off at number 10 this week with Jonas Daimel. German sculptor Jonas seems to be releasing miniatures on an almost weekly basis these days. Anyway, this is a 28mm Angel miniature. It comes as a single piece and is available for €6. Next up we have Portico de Jugos. Is that how you pronounce it? This is an upcoming addition to their fantasy range. It's a young Tercios, which I believe is the name of a Spanish soldier of the 16th or 17th century. Anyway, it looks like he's about to draw his sword. It's a nice pose. I'm looking forward to more stuff from these guys. At number 8 we find Zombie Smith. Upcoming for their core sci-fi range are some light mortar team members. This is the Loader, due to be released in July. They're all sculpted by Aaron Brown, with no word on prices yet. And these are two pictures of the mortar carrier. The core are a great range, and I hope the Zombie Smith will continue to produce more variants in the future. And so on to number 7, where Dragonblood miniatures reside. They have two new Lizard Men models currently being casted. This is a front and back view of the bow-wielding Stalker. It comes in 5 parts and will cost $6.99. And this is a Hunter for the same price. You can also buy each of them in packs of 5 for $24.99. Both figures stand 35mm tall. They're great figures, but they need more variants if people are expected to build any units. Majestic Bear fill the number 6 berth. This is a Mountain Giant which will sell for a cool 25 UK pounds. He stands 12 cm tall and comes with 2 different hand sculpts and a choice of hand weapons. There are 7 components in all to the model. And this is a second variant. Yes, it's always encouraging to see new companies starting up, and this looks like a great start for Majestic Bear. And number 5 is our old chums Heresy miniatures. And this is Elemental, apparently inspired by Mila Jovovich from the Fifth Element film. She'll cost £3 UK. And at number 4 we find last week's chart toppers Hassle-Free miniatures. These are some more examples of Hassle-Free's white metal range of figures. These are miniatures made by non-in-house sculptors. So what we have here is a Knoll Trooper by Ben Seans. Very good. And this is a rather neat female Knoll cleric. Nice earrings on her. Into the top 3, and at 3 is Alchemy. Yes, French company Kraken Editions have some new pictures of releases for their forthcoming Alchemy game. This is an excellent Orlok de Corbeau, or Shaman as I understand it. And this is a close-up of another Orlok, who seem to be a race of Red Indian-style monsters. And this is an Orlok de Crapaud, or so it says here. And finally here's another cool, rangy-looking Orlok with a spear. With Alchemy and Eldorado coming out, it's certainly interesting times for gaming on the continent. Now, it was a tough choice for the number 1 spot this week, but these guys just got pipped at the post. It's Westwind at number 2. These are preview pics of the first miniatures from a new range of 28mm fantasy samurai figures. This is a rather tasty Kimiko. Next up is this rather straightforward warrior monk. All these figures are sculpted by Andy Cooper, who I definitely think is a bit of a rising star. And I base that case on this rather fantastic Fujiwara, a big fat guy with a huge maul. You can't go wrong with that kind of premise. Sponsored in part by Blue Table Painting, your first choice for an excellent miniatures painting service. But who made the number 1 this week? It was eBob! Here are some excellent new greens forthcoming for eBob's Rebellion range of medieval figures for the Scottish War of Independence. I tried to steer clear of historicals here on the Marbles Review Show, but these were so nice I just had to feature them. First up is Longshanks, or King Edward I. Great pose and nice detailing on this one. And this is a really wonderful battle scene featuring Robert the Bruce. Superbly realistic poses here. And here's another view of this scene. This is Perry-class sculpting in my book, and I can think of no higher accolade than that. And that, I'm afraid, rather sadly, brings us to the end of another Colonel Marvel's Miniatures Review vidcast. I'll see you again next week, and thanks for tuning in.